The training log, the business dashboard, the draft folder sitting open on a desk, a line that rises for weeks and then goes flat. That flat line is not where you failed. That is where I was waiting for you. If you have started something more than twice and quit at the same stage both times, this is the confession you came for. Not motivation, not a system. A confession about timing, my timing. Napoleon Hill called this hypnotic rhythm. He confessed that whatever a person repeats long enough becomes fixed permanently. What he did not finish saying, what I will say now, is that the consolidation phase before the lock is the only window I have left. By the end of this, you will do 1 rep with no measurement. Not because you believe in the goal, because that single move closes my window before I close it on you. What if the moment it stopped feeling like progress was the last moment I could still reach you? I am going to show you exactly when I intervene, what I give you to make the exit feel intelligent, and why you have run this loop more than once. You tell yourself each quit was a separate decision, a different goal, a different reason. The gym in January was overtraining. The business in March needed a pivot. The writing in July was the wrong project. 3 separate assessments, 3 separate conclusions. None of that is true. Here is what actually happened. The first time you quit at the consolidation window, I was present. I delivered the exit. I gave you the sentence and you used it and you left. The second time, something had changed. The exit arrived faster. You barely needed me. By the third time, you ran the loop yourself. That is hypnotic rhythm completing its work. Whatever is repeated long enough becomes fixed. The pattern does not care what it fixes. It fixed your exit. I am exposing a mechanism, not offering therapy. This is a behavioral autopsy, not a prescription. Think about the last 3 things you abandoned. Mark the week each one ended. If they cluster at the same stage, and they tend to, you did not make 3 separate intelligent decisions. You ran one pattern 3 times. The first exit required me. The third one did not. That is the confession. And it matters because of what comes next. The loop did not run on its own from the beginning. I needed to reach you at the window. I needed the first exit to land. The question is how I delivered it, and why it felt like your own thought. You believe the plateau arrived because something was wrong. The goal was off. The method was not right. The timing was bad. You read the flat line as a signal about the destination. It was a signal about me. Here is what I will confess. At the beginning of your discipline, I am not concerned. Early momentum means nothing to me. The pattern has not decided which way to lock yet. I wait. At month 6, I am also not concerned. If you have run a discipline for 6 months, hypnotic rhythm has likely begun setting in your favor and my access is narrowing. But weeks 3 and 4, that is a different matter. During consolidation, the integration is happening inside you. The pattern is deciding, and I have a narrow window before it locks in the direction that removes my access permanently. Hill confessed that after the pattern sets, it takes a force equal to the one that set it to break it. I cannot generate that force against a discipline that is already locked. So I do not try. I act before the lock. Every time you quit at the flat line, you saved me. You were about to become unreachable in that corridor. The plateau was not evidence that something was wrong with the goal. It was evidence that something was going right. And I needed the exit before the window closed. I am not strongest when you are weakest. I am strongest when you are 3 weeks from escaping me. And I needed a specific tool to deliver the exit in that window. That tool was not laziness. You would not have accepted laziness. I needed something smarter. You told yourself something at the plateau, a specific sentence. You generated it. You believed it. You did not generate it. Here are the sentences I gave you. I think my body needs a rest week. This model needs a pivot. I was forcing it. I need a fresh angle. The market has changed. I need to do more research first. This is just not the right time. You recognize those? You have used at least one of them. I gave them to you at the window because that is when they were required. Not at day 1 when quitting is obvious. At week 3 when quitting needed to sound like wisdom. Here is the part that took the most design. The smarter you are, the better the sentence I can give you. A less capable person quits and calls it quitting. You pivoted. You discerned. You made a mature reassessment of a goal that was no longer aligned with your direction. I gave you a sentence that preserved your identity as someone serious about growth while delivering the exit I needed at the window. The consent moment is specific. It is the sentence spoken without evidence. This is not working. Said before any real diagnosis was run. Said at exactly the stage where a verdict was premature. That sentence is mine. You borrowed it. And the feeling of clarity that came with it, that sense of relief when the decision landed, that was real. I manufactured it because I needed the exit to feel like resolution, not retreat. Say the last sentence you used to exit a discipline at the plateau. Ask one question. Does that sentence protect the goal or protect your image of yourself? If it protects the image, you know where it came from. I gave you the words, but I needed an instrument to deliver them at exactly the right moment. Without that instrument, the sentences would have had nothing to point to. The instrument is where the real mechanics of this confession complete. You checked something before you quit, a number, a metric, a comparison. The scale at week 3, the analytics on day 22, the view count on the 8th video, the inbox response rate on the 20th outreach. You trusted what you saw. Here is how the threads connect. Earlier, I showed you the exit pattern locked through hypnotic rhythm. I showed you that the window is narrow and that I needed the exit before the consolidation set. I showed you the sentence I gave you. But the sentence needed evidence to stand on. And the evidence came from the oracle. The oracle cannot report consolidation. It only reports visible output. During the integration phase, when the pattern is setting internally, the oracle reports silence. It cannot see what is happening underneath. It reads the flatline and reports the flatline. You consulted the oracle during the window. The oracle reported silence. You handed the silence to the part of you that negotiates comfort over purpose. That part converted the silence into a sentence. And the sentence felt like your own diagnosis because you based it on data. The data was real. The interpretation was mine. Attention tends to register progress signals strongly and to read absence of signal as failure. The oracle gave you absence of signal during a phase when signal was supposed to be absent. You read it as verdict. I needed you to. That is how the loop closes. Oracle silence delivers the rationalization sentence. The sentence creates the exit. The exit repeats until hypnotic rhythm locks it as the dominant pattern at that stage. The instrument, the sentence, and the window all run together. One move interrupts the entire chain. It does not require belief in the goal. It does not require renewed motivation. It is specific, uncomfortable, and doable today. The consent moment was the sentence spoken without evidence at the window. That is where you handed me control. Not at day 1, not in a collapse. At exactly the stage where the pattern was deciding which way to lock. Here is the full loop in one breath. The visible progress markers stall during consolidation. You consult the oracle. The oracle reports silence. The silence feeds the rationalization. The rationalization produces the sentence. The sentence creates the exit. The exit repeats. Hypnotic rhythm locks the exit as pattern. I step back. You run it yourself. One move interrupts that entire chain. Not a restart, not a new system. One rep. Hill called definiteness of purpose. The only pattern that survives the consolidation window intact. Not enthusiasm, not motivation. A decision that cuts off every alternative. A wish consults the oracle during the FLATLINE and finds an exit. A decision runs one rep without the verdict. First, name the discipline you last abandoned at the plateau. The specific one. Not a category. The actual thing you quit. Second, do one unit of it today. One session, one page, one set. One email sent, one unit. Not a restart. Third, close the oracle for 72 hours. No scale, no dashboard, no metrics, no comparison. Close the instrument that delivers my sentence. One rep with no verdict removes the only tool I need to reach you at the window. Without the oracle, the sentence has no evidence. Without the sentence, the exit has no cover. Without the cover, you run one more repetition through the consolidation phase, and hypnotic rhythm begins locking in the direction I cannot follow. I waited until you almost won. I gave you a reason that felt like wisdom. The window is still open. Close it.